Welcome to a new edition of the Famous Interviews with Joe Dimino. On this episode, we talk with culture-driven nonprofit leader Wendy White. She has been a CEO of Face It Together since 2020. She enjoys promoting wellness with those she encounters and helping change the narrative around addiction. She focused on creating a sustainable organization with innovation and financial rigor. Her favorite things are watching the growth of team members and hearing stories of hope and wellness from the members. Creating a workplace culture that focuses on the importance of health and wellness is a critical component of her job. We cover all of this and more. Enjoy.
It's great to meet you. Where are you located?
I'm in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So how's South Dakota today?
Not too bad. It's not windy. It's 43 degrees. So for early March, can't complain.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Kansas City, Missouri, and we're in the same boat. But in Missouri, it fluctuates. It's like a barn door that it can be very evil or very kind. And the other day we were in the 70s, and now it's in the 40s. So
yeah, we have had some unseasonably warm weather as well. So yes, 43 is cold compared to where we've been a lot the last few weeks. But
yeah,
but
definitely.
for March, it's still not bad. Could be a lot worse.
No. It could be. It certainly could be. Well, it's great to meet you. Thank you for taking a minute out. I love your background. I love, the nonprofit world that you're in as a leader, culture-driven. And before we get into that world and your mission, I want to know, we're coming up on the 4-year anniversary of this pandemic. How did you survive the pandemic, and how did it subsequently change you?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's crazy that much time has passed. From a work perspective, I would say that we were lucky that we were probably pretty well positioned to move into a virtual environment because we were already offering virtual coaching. So really it was just getting used to doing that from a work from home environment. So work was actually a pretty easy transition. And in terms of my personal life, at least the first few months, my kids were between the ages of first grade and seventh grade, and it was just a great time for us to be holed up at home. We watched lots of movies and played a lot of games. I think it was just a reminder to slow down and to take that time with your family and those that you love. Obviously, it got long and got a little strain on everybody's mental health, I think, but I did really appreciate the slowdown, and I think in terms of how it changed me, I think it helped bring more perspective to the importance of that. And I can't say that I did a great job of keeping things slowed down, but that was, as we started to open back up again, that was my goal. But I think we're probably back to where we were pre-pandemic in terms of kids' activities and all the things that come with raising a family.
Well, I think during that time, too, it just gives you perspective on things. I think, going through all of the activity and then having it slow down probably makes you a better organism going into it again.
Right.
So let me ask you this. There's a lot of things that go into who you are and what you do on a daily basis, but I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of third graders. It's career day, and one of the kids asks you, hey, what do you do for a living? How would you answer that child?
Yeah, that is a tricky one because I think we work in the addiction care space, so helping people find wellness around addiction, and so that can be a heavy topic. But if I were to try to simplify that, I would just say that I lead a group of talented individuals that help people focus on their overall wellness, and I do the behind-the-scenes work of making sure that the organization is successful.
So what did you want to be in the third grade?
That's a fun question, and I would say that actually my answer from third grade probably plays into my life as an adult, but I don't know that I had a particular thing I wanted to do, but I just know growing up when other kids were playing house and that sort of thing, I would pretend to be in college. And so I just knew that I wanted to go to college. I didn't know what I wanted to go to college for. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I've had 3 careers in my life. And so I always jokingly say that I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And so I just have always had a quest for knowledge and then been open to whatever possibilities might come in the future.
So how did these seeds get in here for you to, I mean, you're in a profession where you're helping people. So how did this kind of take hold? How did these seeds get planted and become who you are today? Are you originally from South Dakota?
I am. I grew up in South Dakota. I went to college and lived in Minnesota for about 10 years, and then I've been back in Sioux Falls for 20 years. So I think that all of my positions have been tied to healthcare and to helping people become better, whether that's healthier or, whatever that might be. So I think I've just always had a desire to be doing something that I knew I felt like I was making a difference. And so with our current or with the organization I'm with currently and the position I'm in, I'm certainly not in the coaching room, but it certainly feels good to hear the impact that we're having on people's lives and rebuilding families and communities. It's just very rewarding from that perspective. And then I'm very logic and science-based. So that's a lot of what our program is based on. And then also being in a CEO role, being able to do the logic side of some very emotional and heartfelt work. It's a good balance between the two pieces.
So who's been kind of a hero for you in your life, an inspiration?
Yeah. So for me, at least for me personally, I had a manager in my late 20s who just really believed in me and saw potential for me as a leader. And she took a risk when I was 29 and put me in a manager role, despite the fact that she, I think, had a lot of critics on whether that was the right decision to make. But I'm super grateful for her and for her seeing that. And then she also just really dedicated the time to help grow me as a leader. And she even retired shortly after that, but felt like she, had unfinished work with me maybe, I don't know. But even after her retirement, she continued to meet with me regularly and kind of be that mentor and really helped shape me into that leader that I am today, which I think is so important. Like, along with our work too, connection is such a big piece of it. And so having people, having that connection and having people that believe in you, I think is really important for all of us to become our best version of ourselves. We see that in our coaching room, and I have certainly seen that in my career as well.
So if you could meet one person alive on the planet right now that you find fascinating, who would that be? Who would you love to meet and talk to?
Yeah, I would love to meet Brené Brown. Her books have been really influential in my life, and I think it's a message that more people should hear. I think a lot of people feel like they're often not enough, and a lot of her shame research is really focused on that you are enough, and I think more people need to understand that and believe that.
So what is the motivator for you every day to get up and then not only to do the job that you're doing, but to help lives, help people change their lives, and also for you as a person to evolve?
Yeah. So for me, I would say, just again, that impact we have on people, that's probably the biggest joy of the work that we do. I'm also always up for a challenge, and running a nonprofit is certainly not for the faint of heart, because there's always, things that are happening. You're running a business, but you're running a business that you also have to get other people to believe in and want to support. And so, there's always different challenges, different things going on. It's heavy work, so creating a team that really has that team spirit and really is collaborative is important, so that people feel like they are connected and have that support system. And so just being able to influence the culture of our organization and helping ensure people are focusing on themselves too and their own wellness and not just the people that they're helping. And so I think it's just creating that overall culture and experience is just very meaningful for me.
So what's been one of your favorite success stories as a professional?
Yeah, there are a lot of success stories. It's super fun. We do every other week, we do have one of the coaches share a success story, and they're all amazing. It's so great to hear how people are creative in how they adjust their life around maybe not drinking or not using, like maybe having a fun family night where they make mocktails, and like being able to be creative in how they adjust their life around the lifestyle changes that they've made. One other story that I think is super fun, where we're really focused on meeting people where they're at, and being in South Dakota, it's a rural community, and we have had, so we do coaching in person, by phone, or by video, and we have had farmers where they're out in their tractor and they call in for their coaching session, and I just think that's such a beautiful story of how we really are meeting people where they're at, being available for them, and really trying to create support without leaving a huge inconvenience in their life, that it should be additive and not something that's adding stress. And so anyway, I just think it's a cool concept that we're so available that they can call us from their tractor.
So let's look at your whole career. If of all of the things that you've done and overcome and evolved into, what are you the proudest of?
Oh, that is a really great question. I think that for me, it's been being open to possibilities. And so I've always had a thirst for knowledge and education, and I love learning new things, and I love having new challenges. And so I think just always being open to the opportunity that presents itself, and then taking the time to dig in and to be thoughtful about whatever environment I'm in, making sure that taking the time to understand before you go in and make a bunch of changes. But I think that it's been fun, again, to like connect into my organization, really help building up that culture of support and wellness and family life balance, all of those pieces, and just creating an environment that is very supportive. Just proud of where we have come.
So everyone out there has a perception of you. There's all these pockets of people, family, friends, clients, colleagues, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of, perception when you give somebody the title of CEO. I think society expects you to kind of, I don't want to say be a dictator, but like you're just going to make all these decisions unilaterally. And that's really not my style. I really believe in having a great team around me, and if it's not my area of expertise, I am not going to make a decision about something without getting that person's opinion. And I've had more than one time in my life someone say to me, well, you're the CEO. And I'm like, well, I am, but I'm also not the expert in this area, and so I want to consult with whichever person that may be. I just feel like everybody has their piece of value that they bring, and I don't ever want to undermine somebody else's expertise and experience.
So, Wendy, if anyone out there wants to reach out, learn more about you, anything about your world, what the good business, where can they go?
Yeah, so if you or a loved one are struggling with addiction, we do provide one-on-one peer coaching locally in Sioux Falls or Colorado Springs, Colorado, but then also by phone or video across the country. And you can find us at wefaceittogether.org.
Excellent. This has been wonderful. Thank you so much for your story, Wendy. Thank you for your time. Best of luck with everything.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in to another famous interview with Joe Dimino, where we cover the world of art, literature, business, spirituality, music, and more from around the globe. Our esteemed theme music was composed and produced by the great E.E. Pointer of Kansas City's River Cow Orchestra. If you want to hear more interviews, visit the Famous Interviews with Joe Dimino channel on YouTube. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thanks again for listening, and until next time.